So there's an old saying that is that it's insanity to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. And I'm going to attempt this today, doing the same thing over again with a slight variation. And that variation will be that I'm going to vary the mic location in my helmet a little bit. But we're going to go on a quick ride, taking out the Panigale, taking a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to ride. When you have these machines and you get a day like this, you've got to go out. And I hope the world understands. I hope that's not too much to ask. But in the meantime, we'll wait for this car to go by. Maybe we'll edit this out. Maybe not. In the meantime, welcome to just outside the man cave at Wistful Vistas here in beautiful suburban San Diego, California. Let's get that ride in. What do you say? Okay, here's another test, which we're somewhat used to. Little side note is I was going to go on the GoPro 8, go for a ride on the GoPro 8, and had to cancel that because the Media Mod puts the mic output at the back. I may be able to post a picture of that. Anyway, it comes out the back and takes up some extra room, and I can't get that on with the current harness. So this is a test. We're with GoPro 7, and as I say, a relocated mic mount. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm loaded up with so much gear and got everything going here. And filming, once again, videoing, me putting on gloves, etc. And just realized I was about to get on the machine. I'm going to get to show you something here, the latest change to my garage I've done. I hope you appreciate it and like it as much as I do. But I just recently added a mysterious hand. Can you see that? Thank you, mysterious hand. Mysterious hand, key. Thank you, mysterious hand, for holding the key, because you don't go anywhere without the key. So I shall now shut the garage. How much will we keep of this in? Further proof that whatever you can forget, you will forget on a motorcycle ride. It's very interesting. I need to find a more logical way to lay things out, make it harder to lose stuff, or forget the sequence that things go on and in and under and Velcro on and that kind of jazz. Okay, let's fire this thing up. Haven't been on this guy for at least a week or two. Crank it over. Starts. Thank goodness for the lithium battery that Dotto put in there. Okay, it started. And just a little sub note, I am wearing the Dionysi safety vest, the inflatable safety vest underneath a mesh jacket from Cycle Gear, sorry. And it's the first time I've done this riding on this machine. You put it on, when it's charged it goes green, you put it on, you put these two metal clasps together, and it vibrates on you to tell you that it is charged, but it will not arm itself until you start the motorcycle, which I just did. So the motorcycle just got started, and it let me know that it is now armed by giving me a little chest vibration. So we are armed with the safety vest. Check the mirrors here. It's always a little bit of a delicate subject. And Jared Campisi loves those bar-in mirrors. Okay, done that. Do we have any kind of view ahead? We do. Kick it into gear. By the way, it's kind of interesting. The Aprilia, when you put it into gear, you get a real chunk. I mean, it goes ka-thunk when it goes into gear. This one is so gentle. Kind of interesting. So haven't ridden this for a couple of weeks due to the coronavirus shutdown, and I've been reluctant to do so because we are supposed to shelter in place and be careful about putting ourselves into situations where we would be tracked from others who perhaps need it more than we do. But after all that time, it's just so hard to just stay in and how to put it, not get out and ride. I gotta ride, man. Is that what Dennis Hopper said in Easy Rider? Dude, you gotta ride. So that's what I'm doing there. Just going out. This is just a fun little tour. Once again, we got the little neighborhood speed limit to observe. Okay, continuing the narration until we hit the street here and find out if all this works as far as dampening some of the wind noise I've been able to produce with my various motorcycle microphone mounts. I have relocated the mic in my helmet to a higher location, and I was going to go out with the GoPro 8. Oops, I don't want to go by that. I don't want to go over that stuff. And had to change that because of a silly little issue. The GoPro 8 media mod, so that you can use an external mic, sticks out the back of the camera, if I could put it that way. Sticks out the back of the camera, and it won't let me tilt the camera back far enough so that I get a view ahead with that mount sticking out the back. It's crazy. It's just I have to say, it's a very small detail, and I don't know that I don't know if they're design and planning that GoPro thinks of that stuff, but it's just so darn disappointing that it just seems to be one thing after another on that GoPro 8. So I'm back with a GoPro 7, which is not a bad thing, because actually, and I'm sorry for jerking my head around, I'm waiting for the light to change here. It's not a bad thing. The GoPro 7 is an excellent camera. It is got pretty good image stabilization. The GoPro 8 has, of course, that really marvelous image stabilization. But so I'm very interested to see how this is going to turn out, by the way, how my voice goes and how the wind noise goes. I hope you can hear mainly the motorcycle and my voice. That's what I'm hoping for here. But it's just been so frustrating with that GoPro 8. The image stabilization. The image stabilization is great. Love it. Really love it. It's just very hard to use in a motovlogging situation. And I don't know what I'm going to do now that I discovered this latest little issue with it. With that thing sticking out the back, I can't put it up with this forward-facing chin mount. At least I don't see how I can. Maybe somebody could show me a picture of what they've done with the GoPro 8, but I can't seem to put it tilted back enough so that you could get a reasonable view ahead. Which was an issue with the old is actually an issue with the GoPro 7, of course. But I don't know what I can do. Gonna have to think about it. I don't know if they make a 90-degree connector angle on it, or what they make that might mitigate that situation. I obviously have to work on it a bit more. I thought I had most of the issues solved except for the wind noise coming into the mic. There you go. The life of a motovlogger. And the life of a retired tinkerer. Oh, is it open? Oh my gosh, the trailhead is open. The yellow tape is down. Gotta tell Mrs. Cooper. We have been under such lockdown in San Diego County northern San Diego County that the hiking trails as well as the beaches have been shut down, and for most of this past week there was a yellow do not cross tape, almost like a crime scene tape there, and we wanted to walk along that trail. One of our favorite things to do is to go to hikes. Do you like pina coladas? And walks on the beach. But it has been closed, so we haven't been able to do one of our favorite recreational activities, which is a bummer in shorthand. So I just went by there. Notice it's open. I think that bodes well. I guess I'll update you on other activities while I have a moment here. I don't want to make this too long. This is just a little write-about video. I have just completed a 2.5, really almost 3-year ownership review, cost-based and modifications, changes-based, on the 2017 Aprilia Tuono that I own. And am working on editing that. Tried to get very creative there and used 2 cameras. Ain't I something? So using 2 cameras on that, and spent a fair amount of time on it. The editing, of course, the reality is that editing takes at least as long. I imagine if you're really good at it, you're very efficient. I'm not good at it, but in my experience, the editing takes at least as long as the video that you're editing to put up. So if it's 20 minutes, you've got to at least watch it once. So that's 20 minutes. And then if you want to put titles and subtitles and little footnotes and things in there, you've got to do that as well. So that's another 20 minutes minimum to go through and do that. Sometimes there's a little research involved. You may want to go back and check a date, or perhaps check a price point, as I had to do with the modifications that, oh, Mr. Wheels were running. He wanted to go. Check a price point, which is what I had to do with that machine on some of the modifications and things that I had purchased. So that adds, again, more time. So I'm going to say it's probably like a 2 or 3 to 1 ratio. Every minute of video is probably 2 minutes to 3 minutes of editing or post, putting it on the computer, looking at it. And I'd like that to be less, because I do enjoy doing them, and I'm kind of an instant gratification person. I like putting them up and being able to just put them up on the net. But although, and I have done that. I've said, all right, that's just going out there. But not very often. You at least have to put on a title, and you've got to spend a little time saying, you know, what am I going to call this thing? And etc. I don't know why that person was braking, but they were. Always be prepared. Be prepared. Oh, I see, there's a car right in front of them. So that's in the can. That's happening. That's being worked on as we speak. And then I need to do, and that's essentially based on reliability and cost of ownership type issues. I next want to do one on likes and dislikes of that machine, and Lord knows I do like it. There are very, very few dislikes, but I want to talk about the technology, etc. So that's going on. I'm working on and doing that. I'm going to do the same thing on this machine. After a year of ownership, I want to update everybody on what it's been like to own a Panigale and live with it, work with it. Panigale V4S, of course. And that will probably come next week, because after all, I'm retired. There's so many demands on my time. Bear with me. So that will be coming for all you Panigale fans out there. I notice I don't have a very large channel. I really don't. But I do notice that the Panigale is a popular subject, and all you have to do is say Ducati Panigale or V4S, and I go from maybe a couple 300 views to maybe as many as 700 or 800, which is a lot for me. And that's kind of fun. It gives an old guy something fun to do. So that it is really popular to talk about. Yeah, we're doing 45. Don't worry. Hope the view ahead is encompassing enough to give you a little fun, and that you enjoy this little jaunt. Can't get away too long, and I do not want to I don't want to be noticed by our local gendarmerie, the police, because this trip is definitely flooded. Oh, no it ain't. Definitely not necessary. It is a total fun trip. Signal? What's up with that? Oh yeah, this signal. Okay. Gary, I've been down this road about a half a dozen times, more, and didn't know there was a signal here. Yes, you do. So, been kind of working on those sort of things. Plus, like many other people, locked in during the pandemic, Mrs. Cooper and I have discovered our cooking chops. We have not gone out to a restaurant in 4 weeks now, and we are enjoying cooking and doing stuff like we've really never done before, and that takes up a fair amount of time, and I must say it's a sweet use of time. It's lovely. I hope you're doing the same thing, and I hope that you're making the most of life that you can during this obviously difficult time. And again, I'll also hope that none of you or yours have suffered greatly or worse during the pandemic. We are maintaining all the guidelines, trying to keep social distancing, not going out, etc. So far, no has not invaded our particular house, but I miss seeing people person. Love the sound of that Ducati. Love that upshifter too, that quick shift up. Ducati really did a fine job of engineering that. Some of them take a longer throw, don't have necessarily the feeling of precision that the Ducati engenders when you're riding it and using that shifter. So kudos to Ducati. Alright, stuck behind a person in a Audi station wagon. I don't know if you know this, but the irony here is that Audi is part of Volkswagen Group, as is Ducati. So, if not necessarily siblings, these two machines are cousins, perhaps? Not too sure. Blinking red light ahead. Not sure if you can see that. As we coast up to this signal, I should point out that the weather today is ideal in Southern California to ride a Panigale 4S, also known as a machine designed to pump heat between your legs as rapidly and as hot as it can be done.